Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're going to continue with Unit 10, which is on plotting ordered pairs. So today our goal is that we're going to learn how to move around correctly on a coordinate plane. We actually are going to review some vocab. Our first one is, what is a coordinate plane? And it is just an area defined by a vertical, and remember vertical means up and down, axis, and a horizontal axis. Okay, the x-axis is what you need to remember is our horizontal line. So it's our horizontal line, which means it's going this direction. And the y-axis is our vertical line, which means it's going to be going that direction. Okay, we also need to remember that origin means where something starts. That's what the actual word means. So in a coordinate plane, it's where the axes intersect, which is at 0, 0. So it means your x is 0 and your y is 0. Okay, our ordered pair is two numbers to show an exact location on a plane. So the ordered pair is actually the XY. So it might be like 3, 5. This is the ordered pair. Now the coordinate point, though, is the point on the plane determined by the ordered pair. So remember, this is called the ordered pair, but when I plot the actual point, that's the coordinate point. And then our last word that we are reviewing is just, what is plot? Plot is actually the verb of making the point. So when you put the point on, that's called plotting. Okay, there's no new notes, but we do have quite a few steps tonight. Okay, our first step is we're going to draw the actual coordinate point when a symbol is present. So what you're going to see on our notes is you're going to see maybe a little picture that looks something like this. And a lot of times in here they'll have a picture. So maybe if they had a flower shop, they would draw a little flower. Well, it gets confusing because some people think the point is under there, but the point is actually right here at the tip. So for step one, we're going to make sure we actually draw the points. Then remember, we always write XY on top of our ordered pairs. So this is my ordered pair. I would put a little X on the first one and a Y on the second one. Okay, next, we're going to plot your points if they are not on the plane. So if they're already on the plane, great, but they might actually ask you to do some plotting. Okay, then we're going to label them 1 and 2 to show where you were first and second. So this means like, because we're going to be moving around, this would be, oh, I was first here, I started here, and then this was my second location because I moved here. Okay, then you're actually going to draw on your coordinate plane, staying on the lines and showing the most direct path. So when you're moving on the coordinate plane, you're not going to be just moving with your eyes. You're going to be moving by drawing. And showing the most direct path means you're going to go there as quick as you can. So for example, if you were going from school to the grocery store, which the closest grocery store by Mayflower is Vaughn's, you would go straight down Mayflower onto Foothill, and then you'd make a left on Foothill and you'd go to the store. That's the most direct way. Now, could you go a different way? Could you go a whole bunch of blocks up and then down and up and down? Yes, you could do that, but that's not very direct. Direct means the fastest, quickest way. Okay, and then you're going to write your directions. Okay, this is a really big part of this lesson. It says, for some problems, your steps will vary. I'm going to put some stars there. So this lesson, and actually our next lesson, all the questions are asked a little bit differently. So even though these are our steps, we're really going to have to look at what the question asks us, and we might have to adjust our steps and be a little bit flexible. Okay, so what does this really look like? So here's my first problem. I'm going to try and keep my steps there so I can look at them as I'm working on this. Okay, so my question says, how can I tell someone to get from the airport, which is at 6:08, to the bus stop, which is at 4:02? Okay, well, if I look at my steps, it says draw the actual point when a symbol is present. So if you look at this symbol, it looks like a plane. But the point is right where it's pointing to. That's my actual point. And here, this is probably what the bus is that they're talking about. The point is right at the tip of there. So that's what step 1's referring to. Step 2 says always write X, Y on top of my ordered pairs. So that the 6 is my X, the 8 is my Y. Right here, if I don't have room to write it on top, I'll just write it below. The 4 is my X and the 2 is my Y. Okay, let's look at our next step. Plot your points if they are not on the plane. Well, this point is already on the plane. This point 6, 8 is right here, and 4, 2 is right there. So it was already on there. I don't need to plot it. Okay, label them first and second to show where you were first and second. Okay, so where was I starting? It says, how can I tell someone to get from the airport, so this is where they first are, to the bus stop second. So this is where they're gonna be first, and I need to get to here. Okay, so get my next step. Draw on the coordinate plane, staying on the lines and showing the most direct path. So if I wanna get from here to here, I need to draw on the lines, so I need to be tracing these lines, and what's the fastest way? Well, obviously I could go like this. I could go here, back, I could go up, down, like I could do this, but that's not direct, okay? So the fastest way that I can see is I can go like this, straight, and then here. Okay, pretty much I'm gonna kind of change my reds. I could have also done, oh, sorry, my pencil broke. I could have also done this one. And if you see, they look almost identical. Both of them would require me to, if I was kind of counting the blocks, here I had to walk 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. And when I did this one, I had to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both of those would be direct. I'm gonna go with this first one. Not that it's better, just because that was the first one I chose. Both of them will be acceptable. Okay, so let's look at my next step. I'm gonna write my directions. How did I get there? Well, let's see. How many blocks? And blocks are, I'm counting these little stops. So this was 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're gonna go 6 blocks down. And then I'm here, 1, 2 blocks left, because that's my left, if you remember your left. So I went 6 blocks down and 2 blocks left, and that's my answer. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit different, which is why I'm gonna have to be flexible with my steps. Okay, so let's go back to my first step. Okay, my problem now says the icon. The icon just is a fancy word for picture. The icon below shows the location of a bakery on a map. And if you look really closely, it actually looks like a little cake. The library is located 3 blocks to the left and 4 blocks up from the bakery. What are the coordinates of the library? Okay, so let's see. Can I follow my steps for this? Draw the actual coordinate point when a symbol is present. So the bakery is not right here. The bakery is actually right here where it's pointing to. Okay, always write X, Y on my ordered pairs. Well, there's no ordered pairs. Plot your points. They didn't give me any points to plot. They didn't give me any ordered pairs. Label them first and second. Well, first, I'm at the bakery. Okay, but then they tell me where the library is. Now this time they're not asking me to write the directions, they're kind of asking me to follow the directions. So it says the library is 3 blocks to the left and 4 blocks up from the bakery. So now I'm gonna just follow these. So I'm at the bakery, that's my first spot, and they tell me to go 3 blocks to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Then they tell me to go 4 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where I think the library is, which is my second spot. Okay, so my question says, what are the coordinates of the library? Well, my coordinates are always going to have an X and a Y. So if I look right here, this is my library. What is my X? My X is 2. Oh, sorry, you didn't see that. My X is 2. And my Y is 8. So my library is at 2-8. Okay, let's try some of these together. Okay, here is my first one. Okay, the way that I made this is so this problem's going to go to here and this problem's going to go to here. So let's look at this first one. How can I tell someone how to get from the gas station 43 to the town hall located at 76? Okay, well this one says, remember our step to draw the actual point if there's a symbol? Well, there's no symbol, so I can't draw any points. So let's look at our next step. Always write X, Y. Well, we definitely can do that for this one because they gave me 2 ordered pairs, so let's put X, Y on top of them. X, Y, X, Y. Okay, step 3 says plot your points if they're not on the graph. So they're not on here. So it says, how can I tell someone to get from the gas station, which is 4, 3? So I know this is a really small graph. So 4 is my X. So here's my 4. And my Y is 3. So this is my gas station right there. Okay. And I don't need to draw a cute little picture. I could just maybe write gas if I wanted. Or I could say that's going to be my first spot is my gas station. Because they tell me the gas is going to be the first spot I'm at. Okay, then they're going to want you to go from the gas station to the town hall. And the town hall is X is 7. And town hall's Y is 6. So right here. So this is my second spot. Okay, so they want me to give directions this time. So I might zoom in a little bit for that. So how am I going to get from my first location to my second? Okay, so I'm seeing I could probably just go like this. That's the path that I might follow. Again, I could have gone up first and then this direction. They would both be exactly the same. So what did I actually do? Let's write our directions. I went 1, 2, 3 blocks to the right. So let me write that in. 3 blocks right. And then I was here and I went 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 blocks up. Those would be the directions of how you'd get from the first place, the gas station, to the second place, the town hall. Okay, let's look at another problem. This one's a little bit different. Okay, this one says Leah's beach house is located 2 blocks up and 5 blocks to the right of the ice cream parlor, which is at 3-3. Okay, so my first step says I'm going to draw the point. So here's my ice cream, but it's actually pointing to right there. So that's where my ice cream really is. My next step says you always put XY when you see an ordered pair. I see one right here. There's my ordered pair. Okay, now let's kind of read this one more time. So Leah's beach house is 2 blocks up and 5 blocks to the right of the ice cream parlor. Okay, this is going to be kind of a pain because look at it, it says 2 blocks up and 5 blocks to the right. When I try and draw 2 blocks up, my ice cream's kind of in the way. So I'm going to have to be really careful about that, okay, that I don't make a mistake. Or I could decide to go to the right first. Because remember we saw that you could, here I could have gone this way and up, or I could have gone up then right. So I might want to, on this one, switch them since my picture's in the way. So I might go 5 blocks to the right first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I might go 2 blocks up. 1, 2. So that is where her beach house is. Lucky Leah to have a beach house and to have one so close to ice cream. So what are the coordinates of her beach house? Well, remember, I need an X and a Y. So my X, if I come down here, is 8. And if I go all the way across to Y, my Y is 5. Sorry, my 5's a little sloppy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you feel okay with this. Make sure you have this, you realize for homework, this one goes to this graph and this one goes to this graph. And then as always, rate yourself. Have a good evening. Good night.